Good morning, students. Welcome back to 7th Standard Social Online class. Students, hope you are all safe at home by God's grace. Today, we are going to see second term history lessons. In this term, we have totally 7 lessons. In history, 3 lessons. In geography, 2 lessons. And in civics, 2 lessons. Now, we are going to study about History Unit 1, Vijayanagar and Bahmani Kingdom. Have you heard the stories of Tenali Raman? Yes. In which court he lived? He was in the court of Krishna Devaraya. So that Krishna Devaraya we are going to study now. First we will see the Vijayanagar kingdom. In this lesson we are going to know what are the circumstances that led to the rise and expansion of Vijayanagar and Bahmani kingdoms. And to familiarize ourselves with the administration, their military organization and economic life during the time of their reign. And we are going to know the contribution of Vijayanagar and Bahmani rulers to the literature, art and architecture. Let me see the introduction. The political condition of India in the 14th century provided great opportunities for the rise of new kingdoms in south. The repressive measures of the temperamental Muslim king Muhammad bin Tughlaq led to the rise of many new independent states. In the south, two famous kingdoms were aroused. One is Vijayanagar kingdom, another one is Gulbarga or Bahmani kingdom. The Bahmani kingdom spread all over the state of Maharashtra and partly over Karnataka. It was ruled by 18 kings and it continued for 180 years. Early in the 16th century, these 18 kingdoms they collapsed and they split into 5 independent sultanates. They are Bijapur, Ahmednagar, Golconda, Bidar and Berar. Note this one. The Bahmani kingdoms were split into 5 sultanates. They are Bijapur, Ahmednagar, Golconda, Bidar and Berar. The state of Vijayanagar continued to flourish for nearly 200 years. Ultimately, Vijayanagar's wealth and prosperity it induced the Muslim Deccan kingdoms to invade war against in South India. In 1565, note this year, very important year, at the Battle of Talaikota, finally they could succeed in crushing Vijayanagar Empire. So this is the introduction. First we will see the foundation of Vijayanagar Empire. Vijayanagara, it means the city of victory. Note it. Vijayanagar means the city of victory. It was established in southern Karnataka by two brothers named, note this the name, Harihara and Bukka. So Vijayanagara means the city of victory. This city was established by two brothers, Harihara and Bukka. According to one tradition, Vidyaranya, he was the head of Saivite. He belonged to Sringeri Mutt. He instructed this Harihara and Bukka to abandon their service to the Tughlaqs and rescue the country from Muslim authority. It was a thought. One Saivite saint, his name was Vidyaranya. He belonged from Sringeri Mutt. He instructed this Harihara and Bukka to leave from the service of Tughlaq and rescue the country from the Muslim authority. The new kingdom was called Vidyanagara for a time in honor of the spiritual teacher Vidyaranya before it came to be called as Vijayanagara. 4 dynasties, namely Note this one, it will come for 2 marks. Sangama, Saluva, Tuluva and Aravidu ruled this kingdom. So in Vijayanagar Empire, the empire was ruled by 4 families or 4 dynasties. The first dynasty was Sangama dynasty. They ruled 1336 to 1485. Next dynasty was Saluva 1485 to 1505 and Tuluva dynasty. The Krishna Raya particularly belonged from Tuluva dynasty. They ruled from 1505 to 1570 and last dynasty was Aravidu 1570 to 1646. Note these 4 dynasties, they are very very important for 2 marks. Students see these pictures, they are the founder of Vijayanagar Empire, Harihara and Bukka. They were under the service of Tughlaq and they, after the death of Muhammad bin Tughlaq, they became the ruler of Vijayanagar Empire. The fertile region between the rivers Krishna and Tungabhadra and the Krishna to Godavari Delta were the zones of conflicting among the rulers of Vijayanagar, Bamini and Odisha, because these 2 places were very very fertile places. To occupy these places, there was often struggle between the Vijayanagar, Bamini and Odisha. The valor of the first 2 brothers, Harihara and Bukka of the Sangama dynasty. Note this one. This Harihara and Bukka, they belong from Sangama dynasty. They protected the new kingdom from the superior forces of the Bamini Sultanate, which had been established about a decade after the foundation of Vijayanagar. Bukka's son, Kumara Kampana, is an important GK question. Note this one. Bukka's son, his name was Kumara Kampana. He entered the Sultanate in Madurai. Note this one. Kumara Kampana, already we have studied in the first term. Kumara Kampana, he entered the Sultanate in Madurai and he succeeded in establishing Nayak kingdom. Note this one. Kumara Kampana, he established Nayak kingdom in Madurai. The conquest of the Madurai Sultanate by Vijayanagar Empire is described in detail in the poem Madura Vijayam. Note this one. Madura Vijayam, it was composed by Kumara Kampana's wife Ganga Devi. Very very important GK question. Note this one. End of Sangama dynasty. When King Bukka died, he had left behind a large territory to his son Harihara to rule. Now this one, after the death of Bukka, his son Harihara became the new king. Harihara's second impressive achievement was securing Belgaum and Goa from the Bamini kingdom. Harihara's son Devaraya I, note this one. They are the important kings. Harihara II, Devaraya I, these are the important kings of Vijayanagar Empire. Devaraya I defeated Gajapati kings of Odisha. Note this one. His successor Devaraya II was the greatest ruler of Sangama dynasty. He began the practice of recruiting Muslim fighters to serve him and to train him in the new method of warfare. So the important point of Devaraya II, he had the practice of selecting Muslim fighter or Muslim soldiers to serve in his army, and he gave training to them in the new method of warfare. Now we will see the rise of Saluva dynasty, that is second dynasty. After Devaraya II, the Vijayanagar Empire went through a crisis. There was a problem. The able commander of the Vijayanagar army, Saluva Narasimha, making use of the situation, he declared himself as the emperor after murdering the last ruler of Sangama dynasty, Virupaksha Raya II. So after the death of Virupaksha Raya II, the Vijayanagar Empire was going to rule by a new dynasty, Saluva family. But the Saluva dynasty founded by Saluva Narasimha came to an end with his death. When Naras Nayaka, his able general, he captured the power it usurped in the Tuluva dynasty. So there was no proper ruler after the death of Saluva Narasimha. So after that power came to Tuluva dynasty. Krishna Devaraya. Krishna Devaraya, who reigned for 20 years, not this one. He was the most illustrious ruler of the Tuluva family. His first step after the ascending the throne was to bring under control the independent chieftains in the Tungabhadra area. After succeeding in this effort, his next main target was Gulbarga. Gulbarga is nothing but Bahmani kingdom. The Bahmani Sultan Muhammad Shah had been overthrown and kept in imprisonment by his minister. Krishnadevaraya freed the Sultan and restored him to the throne. Similarly, he forced a war on Prataparutra, the Gajapati ruler of Odisha. Prataparutra negotiated, talked for peace, and offered to marry his daughter to him. Accepting the offer, Krishnadevaraya returned the territory he had conquered from Prataparutra. So first his target, he placed all the small kings under his control, and then he restored the throne to Muhammad Shah. He was a king of Bahmani, and next he captured places from Prataparutra and Gajapati ruler of Odisha. Finally, Prataparutra, he gave her daughter in marriage to Krishnadevaraya. Krishnadevaraya, with the help of the Portuguese gunners, could easily defeat the Sultan of Golconda and subsequently take over Raichur from the ruler of Bijapur. You see this statue, this is Krishnadevaraya. He belonged from Tuluva dynasty. A great builder. Krishnadevaraya built huge irrigation tanks and reservoirs for harvesting, for storing rainwater. He built the famous temples of Krishnaswamy, Hazara Ramaswamy, and Vitlaswamy in the capital of Hampi. Note this one. Krishnadevaraya, he built Krishnaswamy temple, Hazara Ramaswamy temple, and Vitlaswamy temple in the city of Hampi. He distributed the wealth he gained in wars to all major temples of South India for the purpose of constructing temple gateway Gobras called Raja Gobram in his honor. You see this is Vithalaswamy temple. It was built by Krishnadevaraya. He recruited a large army and built many strong forts. He imported large numbers of horses from Arabia and Iran, which came in ships to Vijayanagar port on the west coast. He had good friendly relations with the Portuguese and Arabian traders, which increased the empire's income through customs. So he selected a large army and he built many strong forts to protect his empire. He bought number of horses from Arabia and Iran for warring purposes. They came in ships Vijayanagar port on the west coast, and he had a good friendly relations with the foreign people, Portuguese and Arabian traders. It increased the income of the empire. Students, up to this we will conclude the lesson. The remaining portions will be seen in our next class. Today I will give 2 marks. You put a new classwork note. You copy the 2 marks in your classwork note and study well. Thank you.